Hello, people.
We haven't even fucking started. Stop it.
Yeah, I did.
This is preview, isn't it?
No, I already started.
Oh. Wait.
What's up, guys?
We're back. Finally, we're back.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. There's been a lot going on. Plus, it's the holiday season. I already told you guys it's gonna slow down at this point.
Yeah. He's done with all his holiday shit.
Yeah.
Well, fucking Halloween stuff was all done a while ago, but between the upcoming Thanksgiving and Christmas seasons, I'm finally done with school, so now I have time to do this.
Yeah.
He's only doing, well, technically 2 jobs right now, but
yeah.
Anyway.
But
we finally have time to do this. We're coming back.
It's a good time. So, on that note, let's talk about 11 through 15 of Samurai Champloo. Now, episode 1.
15, 11. Here we go again. God damn it, here we go again.
Call you the hammer because he nailed it. Yeah, episode 11. As far as
it's got 2 ones in it.
Yeah.
I fucked that up.
Exactly. As far as drinking goes, episode 11 was fairly slow.
We got about half a beer out of it.
Yeah, not a whole lot of beverage drinkage going on there.
No.
But basically what that one was about was Jin found this woman who was about to kill herself.
Said, don't do it, bitch.
By jumping off of a bridge because she just got sold to a brothel by her husband because he had a bunch of gambling debt. He ends up falling in love with her, and he ends up saving her from the brothel.
That's the gist of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, Fu and Mugen don't really have a big part in this one. Oh, Mugen does the whole like Bido sumo wrestling thing because they're broke like always.
Right.
Fu's working in like a tea house again.
Yeah, I mean that's all she does.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it. But
interesting episode because it's the first time that in the series you finally see Mugen actually Jin actually feel for somebody. And in a serious way, it's kind of weird because it's really out of nowhere that it happens. Like they just end up like meeting each other, and then like they hang out once, and then he's just hooked. Like,
because in the beginning of the episode, he's doing his odd job working at like an eel house because he signed up for it because he said there's like blade or cutting work involved.
Right.
But it ends up it's just an eel house that you have to slice the eel open to serve it. But he has no idea what he's doing. So after he convinces her not to kill herself, she shows up at the little eel house and basically helps him out. And so she eventually ends up explaining that it's her last free day because, like Brian said, she's being instilled into a brothel the next day.
Yeah.
So this is her last day of freedom, and she wants to do whatever she wants. And so that's pretty much what she ended up doing.
Yeah.
So
So after that, they end up falling in love with each other. But she's like, "Look, I'm stuck here. There's really no way out of this. If I go anywhere, they're gonna find me. It doesn't really matter."
And she couldn't get divorced with him because I guess it's the law in the area that the women can't divorce their husbands regardless unless the husband gives consent.
Right.
So she's kind of SOL on that one. However, Jin finds a loophole, and apparently across the river there's like a divorce temple sanctuary thing where I guess she can go and just kind of stay. Yeah. So that's pretty much what he ends up doing is he saves her from the brothel one night. They chase them down and they wreck face like they always do.
Well.
And so he ends up sending her across the river. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's episode 1.
11.
Episode 2 was a recap. Boring
12.
as shit. Sorry. Man. Episode 12 was a recap.
We just proved we're smart too. Come on.
Boring as shit. No, we didn't.
Smarter than engineers.
And then, well, yeah.
But yeah, so episode 12 ended up being another recap episode, which we watched the whole thing just because it's been a while, and so we wanted the recap for it.
Yeah.
We ended up drinking more in the second episode as opposed to the first one that we watched just because it was a recap and it showed all the epicness that's happened.
Though at the same time, we kind of had an iffy about it because it was like,
we've already drank before. Do we drink again?
Yeah, but we decided on doing it just because if we didn't, then
we would have had nothing.
Yeah, and that's not what this show's about. So that was episode 2.
12.
12. I got there. Episode 13.
So 13 and 14 kind of tied together. It was a
Yes.
part 1, part 2 episode.
Yes.
13 began with them walking through a forest, and they're ending up on a beach. So Mugen smells the sea, and so they end up finding the sea, where he looks off into the side, and he notices a woman sitting over there. She recognizes him immediately and comes over, and apparently they have a past, which we'll get into in a little bit.
Yeah.
But then a group of bandits ends up attacking them, which ends up being the woman's brother is the head of the gang,
Yeah.
who also knows Mugen from their childhood past.
Yes.
And so they kill 2 of the gang members like nothing, and then the rest of them are like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, wrong guys to fuck with.
It's like, they're tough, never mind,
Mhm.
whatever. So the brother recognizes Mugen immediately, obviously, and so tries to recruit him for a heist that they have planned. Mugen says, no, I travel alone. And the guy's, well, what about these 2? And Mugen's like, fuck you, I'm gonna do my own thing. Yeah, pretty much, exactly like that, yeah.
Yeah, that's how he said it. And then after
but
that...
in Japanese.
Exactly. And then after that, the stuff ensues. He ends up agreeing to be part of the guy's mission, and he's like, listen, I'm gonna do this, but my one stipulation is that after I do this, I never want to see your face again. Like, this is the last time. And so they come together. He's on the guy's pirate ship. He does his part of the bargain and slams the ship into the other one, but then the guy ends up double crossing him and blowing up the pirate ship, throwing Mugen into the sea. And that's basically the end of the first episode, with everybody thinking that he's dead.
Right.
We all know he's not.
So episode 14 begins. The sister, Kozu, goes and finds Jin and Fu and basically tells them the whole backstory, explains to them that he's being double-crossed, that he's in danger, but it's kind of unspoken that she has feelings for him, but it's kind of really obvious that she has feelings for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so they say that this has happened before, a long time ago, and now it's basically happening again, and she feels really bad, so she doesn't want it to happen.
Right.
So she goes and finds them, but they're already too late because they're out in the ocean, so there's nothing they can do.
Right.
But that just kind of shows a little bit of the backstory of the episode, to say what's going on and why it's happening.
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting because it's finally that portion of the story, because you basically know where
Mugen comes from.
Yeah, you basically know where Fu comes from because of if anything, episode 12, when they go through her diary, and then you know about part of Jin's past from a couple of episodes back when they talk about how he killed his master, etc., etc. So this is when you finally find out where Mugen is coming from and what he's all about. And so you find out that he's from this island, and like they have this horrible past where they're basically like the lowest of the low.
Yeah, they were born and raised on this island that was specifically designed for exiles, for criminals, to get put there, and so they were all born and raised there. So assumingly from that, I guess their parents must have been criminals too. So their parents must have been exiled, and then they survived, but then they had these kids, which ended up being Mugen and the 2 others.
Yeah.
But yeah, they basically grew up, and they throughout the episode they keep referencing it to.
There we go.
I can speak words.
No.
They keep referencing it to being like hell, essentially, and so they're already at the bottom. There's nowhere they can go. They have nothing to lose, and so that's why they end up doing the things that they do.
Right.
But yeah, so that's essentially a back look into Mugen's past.
See, I wasn't the only one. And also, you find out that Mugen has been double-crossed by this guy before. So this isn't the first time that this has happened. That he's tried to recruit him, he accepted, and he got double-crossed. So it happened twice.
And so the guy kind of goes into Mugen's head and is like, you have this dark past, like you're trying to fool yourself and being someone you're not, but being these people's bodyguards. Like, that's not who you are. Like, you're the criminal that I know you are. Help me with this heist, and you'll be rich beyond your wildest dreams, kind of a thing. And so Mugen agrees, he says based off of the money, but I don't know.
What I got from it was that it wasn't necessarily about the money. It was about him finally getting away from the past. That he's been trying to basically avoid, I'm guessing.
So closure.
Exactly that. So he doesn't have to deal with what he had been through and what he had gotten away from by jumping off of that cliff when they were basically there to execute him, and he jumped off of the cliff and survived.
So episode 14 ensues, and obviously we find out Mugen survives. He gets caught up in this fisherman's net. Fu finds him and takes care of him, kind of brings him back to life a little bit.
Yep.
And then the sister ends up asking Jin to avenge him by killing her brother. And so she leads him to their little like hideout on this island. And so I guess there was a mole on the original ship where the gold was, who was in cahoots with the brother. And so they double-crossed everyone. It was just going to be them two and the sister that ends up taking all of this gold and just having a fantastic life from there. So it's the mole and the brother that are waiting at this little shack, and then the sister shows up and goes inside, because it kind of implicited that the brother was giving the sister to this guy.
Basically,
yeah, kind of a thing. So she goes into the shack with this guy, and then Jin shows up and just wrecks the brother.
Easily.
Just like he's like, I wanted to kill him, you motherfucker. Take out your gun. I'm gonna kill you right now.
Yeah.
And he does.
And then he does. And then that's when the brother and him realize that they've actually both been double crossed by his sister. Exactly, by his sister and the guy that he was in cahoots with all of with knowing where the money was. So they bolt off while all of this is going on and think that they're safe and are going to leave. And as they're heading over to basically get to a boat to get to the money to head off, Mugen crosses paths with
limps along.
Yeah,
he's using his sword and sheath as a crutch, and he's walking along, and the mole's like, oh fuck this guy, I got him, and he charges him, and
Mugen just
wrecks him just
super quick. And then he just continues limping his way towards the girl and just ghosts her and just walks.
She's fully expecting death, like she's ready to die. She knows it's coming, and he just walks by, just cold shoulders her completely. And so she turns around, not knowing what to do, and she's like, just kill me, like just kill me. But Mugen knows better. Like he knows that that's what she wants, and the worst thing that he could give her is
life,
being alone.
Yeah.
Because throughout these couple episodes, like she's explained, like she doesn't know how to live any other way. She doesn't know what to do if she would ever be alone. She even tells this new guy, like, don't ever leave me, like I wouldn't know what to do. And so that's exactly what Mugen does, and leaves her just alone.
Yep. And then that's how that 2-part episode happens, which was awesome. So that
There's
was episode...
a lot of deaths, a couple explosions, which is a new one. Yeah, there was some explosions
and a squirrel.
There was a squirrel.
Was that the only? That was the only one.
No, there was another one, but it was while you were in the bathroom. That was the ones you drank for.
Okay. Yeah. So that was 13 and 14, right?
Yep, that's what it was.
So that was 13 and 14, and then in episode 15, they've made their way into a new city. I can't remember what it was called. Start with a K.
Anyway, the prologue of the episode, there's a guy running through a forest, and he's running away from something.
Yes.
And so we find out
he's running away from ninjas.
Basically, it looks like ninjas. For us, it looked like ninjas. It explains later in the episode what they actually are, but we're gonna stick with ninjas because that's what they fucking were.
Yeah.
So he's running along, and apparently he stole a bag of gold or something, and so he ends up throwing it into a lake to get away from these guys.
Right.
And so that was that. And then when it finally gets to Jin, Mu, and Fugen.
Oh,
wow.
My God.
I'm going to let you take over from here because apparently I can't say words.
Oh. Yeah, you just do that. So...
Lord, I apologize.
Oh my God. Anyway, they end up finding the money. And then they end up making their way into this brothel. Mugen and Jin end up making their way into this brothel with a bunch of ugly chicks, maybe, and this one really good-looking girl. So they
they play rock paper scissors for her.
Yeah, rock paper scissors for her. Mugen wins, and then basically she's actually an undercover agent, and so she's like, I'm just gonna knock this dude out and then continue my
hits him over the head with a vase, and so he's out cold for a couple seconds. Then he gets up, he's like, wow, that's rough. I'm turned on more, let's go.
Yeah. And so they end up fighting and she loses.
He pins her against the wall, and he's like, all right, this is fucking awesome. Let's do this. And then
Yeah.
she's like, oh, look, a naked woman. And the dumbass fucking turns
Of
around
course he does.
and she kicks him in the nuts.
Of course she does.
And so that turns him on more because he's a fucking weirdo.
And so she ends up taking it, flipping it on its head, and instead of trying to defeat him with battle, she then just decides, okay, I'm just going to use him basically because I know that he's strong. So she's like, hey, you know what would be really great? If we go next door and do it there. So he's like, awesome. So they head next door, and there's a bunch of dudes in there, and she's like, oh man, this isn't gonna work out. We gotta get rid of these dudes. And he's like, cool.
Fucking
and
bye.
He throws all their bitch asses out. And so she finds one of the people that she works with,
which was the original guy that was running away.
Correct. So then she's like, hey, you know what would be really awesome?
If we go downstairs.
Yeah, if we head downstairs. And he's like, okay.
Fuck yeah, kicks open the door and just jumps. It's an elevator shaft. Yeah. And he fucking just
kicks open. Woo! Not only kicks open the door, puts her on his neck, and then jumps down the elevator shaft.
Like, no shoes, no shirt, no fucks given, just jumps.
And so
he jumps down the shaft, and they land on the bottom, which is the forgery for these fake gold coins that they've been making.
Right.
And so I guess they've been undercover for about a year, I think is what it said in the episode.
Yeah.
And so they finally find the head honcho that's down there, and he's about to torture more of their undercover agents when Mugen makes his grand entrance.
Yeah. By the way, by pouring liquid metal into their mouths, my God, that would have been a horrible, horrible thing, which probably means that he had done it before. That's disgusting. Moving on. Right as he's about to do this, Mugen shows up.
And he's like, what the fuck is going on? And she just elbows him in the head, just like, shut up. And she goes on and says, like, I finally found you out. You're under arrest, blah, blah, blah. And so he starts laughing. The head honcho starts laughing. He's like, really? It's you two against 20 of, like, us. Yeah. Like, trained fighter, warrior, monk things. And he's like, fucking, we got this shit, basically. And so she says, all right, if you help me out again, I'll do something really awesome. He's like, bitch, I ain't falling for that shit again. And then she whispers something to him, and he's like, fucking, you're on. Deal. Let's go.
Lord knows what that was, but
it must have been good.
A frenzy.
So,
and they beat the crap out of everyone there.
He's got no sword, he's got no shoes, he's got no fucking anything, and he just wrecks face.
They, as a team, just wreck face on them. And then after that, they end up arresting the head honcho. And he's like, so about that
deal.
And then she's like, hey, look, a naked woman. And he's like, where? She smacks him in the head with a 2x4.
And knocks him out.
Yes, and then leaves him under a tree to be found. But then she says that that's the man that she's going to marry.
Oh, yeah, so the guy that she's working with, they're walking away, and he's like, are you sure it's okay to leave him here? Like, I don't feel right about this. And she's like, he's tougher than that. He'll be fine. After all, he is the man I'm going to marry. He's like, yeah, I'm in love. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's like, what?
And so she says, like, in her head, she's like, yeah, as soon as both of our journeys are over, I'll come find you, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
It's like,
yeah. So, that was those.
Meanwhile, Fu, fucking Fu.
Oh, fucking Moo.
Oh, Moo makes an appearance again.
Yep.
If you've been watching our episodes, Moo comes back. Fucking Moo. So Moo's in the episode again. Yeah. And then Jin ends up sleeping with, like, all the other girls that they offered, which, fucking brown bag, turn him around.
My back.
Yeah, so he ends up hurting his back because he basically rocked all these women's worlds, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, so his back hurts because he's an old man.
Carrying all these women.
Fu goes back to normal, but apparently she's starving again because she's fucking Moo.
Yeah.
And Mugen's knocked out under a tree.
Yeah.
And that's where we leave them at the end of episode 15.
Exactly. So, yeah, next episode, we're going to do episodes 16 through 20.
Winding down.
Yep.
Getting close.
Oh, yeah, we're getting close, because there's 23?
26. It was the same as Trigun, so I think it's 26.
26, yeah. Okay, so yeah. 16 through 20, and then after that, we'll do the last set of episodes in one final episode.
Yeah.
So we've only got 2 left for this one.
Are there
my God.
Are there any comments on the first one so we can go over while we wait here?
Shit. Phone.
Go
pause.
Yeah, go get the phone. So in the meantime, I know the holidays are upon us. We're getting really close. So on behalf of Brian and myself and everybody else, I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and any other holiday that you might celebrate. We appreciate your views. So we might not get out with the next DAC until 2014. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But while he's pulling that up, this coming Friday, hopefully we get this posted out before then, or else this comment isn't going to make sense.
Nope.
We will be filming the next DGVG.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since Brian's got a DGVG out.
Yeah. I'm super excited, and I know that you guys have been asking for one, and I've been like, I'm sorry, like the holidays have been rough. People trying to finish up school.
Yeah. So we finally found a day.
Yeah, exactly.
We finally have a day where both of us are free at night on a Friday. So we're just gonna let loose and we are gonna DGVG the shit out of that night.
It's gonna be awesome. So
be ready for that one. That one is coming.
Yeah.
But again, in order to view that, we need your subscription down below. Subscribe, like, favorite it, share it.
Yes. Let everybody know that you love my face and his face and all of the other faces that I put on this box that you look at. So yeah,
So he's pulling up some of the comments, hopefully that are there. Hopefully that you all have left there and are waiting for our reply.
Let me see. I've got one. Shut up. Shut up. Let me see. I've got. Would you open? I swear.
We're having some technical difficulties apparently.
For real? Okay, let's not do this right now. Let's not do this. Okay. Good Lord.
Oh, so good.
So good.
Yeah.
There we go. See, we've got nothing on the last one.
On the second one we did, so that's 6 through 10.
Yeah, 6 through 10.
Sad day.
I know.
People.
But that's fun.
People.
I know. Y'all watching.
We see the views.
We see them. Uh-huh.
We see them. You should be watching.
Yes.
Funimation.
We did get one on our first episode, and it said, "Love that you spoke about this anime, which I love. If you get a chance, watch Wolf Children. Also, you guys are too cute to boot."
I've never heard of Wolf Children.
Never heard of too cute to boot.
Let me cute it and boot it.
Oh, weird. But yeah, that was from Erica Pagan Foy. Yes, thank you for your comment. It was a lot of fun.
We appreciate that.
Throwing phones. So yeah, upcoming soon. We're filming a new DGVG on Friday, which means hopefully it should be out by the end of the weekend.
Hopefully.
Exactly. Should be out by the end of the weekend. I'm super excited because I haven't done one of these in a while.
It's gonna be awesome. I'm
Yeah.
so stoked.
And then after that one comes out, there's going to be I'm gonna continue putting out the Let's Plays that I can here and there, just to make sure that I still have content to put out for you guys, because I know that you want to see it. And then, oh my God, come the new year in January, we'll be back to doing all of the stuff that we can.
Yep. Holiday season will be completely over.
Exactly.
I won't be going to school all the time just because I'll be starting basically my internship, which is in the mornings. Right. So at night I'm free.
Exactly.
He's only doing one job at that point.
Right.
So we're gonna have a lot more time. We're gonna get you folks the footage you deserve.
Exactly. It'll be a great time. And also coming in the new year, I plan to do a lot more conventions because those were a lot of fun to do as well. And I know a lot of people got a kick out of those. So that's what's coming up soon. And next time you will see episodes 16 through 20. Yep. And also some other fun stuff from us. So until then, see you guys later. Peace on your face.